I don't wanna waste no time, so pardon this lack of composure. Exactly what my life ordered. A lover and a friend. Real time. Riding on the same page, walking at the same pace. Wondering how my life got here, but you're here now. Yeah. Pedal down the same street, wave at people we see. Talking out loud of last week's ups and this week's doubts. Love was inconceivable, but head to toe. I don't wanna waste no time, so pardon this lack of composure. Exactly what my life ordered. A lover and a friend. Look, can we just...
I don't know. Good evening, everybody. Good morning.
I don't know why it does that. I can't hear you. I can hear me.
Hello, hello.
Now I can hear you. Yeah. There's a short or something. I
It's like anything. You start messing with stuff and moving stuff everywhere.
don't know. Yeah.
This thing starts getting super sensitive. All right. I literally want to throw it through the wall right now. That's how things are going. All right.
Good evening, everybody that might be watching eventually. Or now. I don't know.
Well, I will go back on LinkedIn and see if we're live and share it into our little group chat there.
Josette had asked, and I said, yeah.
Yeah, we were technically challenged today. It's usually always most of the time. So let me send it into a group, share via copy link, go back, drop it into the group chat. And then if anybody's listening, yes, I do have a link posting it here. It's a long link. This is crazy, but this is how it shares it. There you go. Okay, we're live. Okay, so it's been a while. What, 2 weeks?
I think so. What do we have going on before that we had to miss?
So the last Saturday before, we
did something on Friday.
Yeah. Drawing a blank. We are live. Yes, we are. Yolanda's like, we're live.
Yeah.
We are. Yes. So should I even turn the number off right now?
Our phone number. It's not connected. Yeah, turn the number off for now.
Okay.
We may put it back on. We'll see.
You showed up on my YouTube. Okay.
Hey, good.
Awesome. And then for whatever reason, it's like anything here.
Just clicking on random buttons. There it is right there.
There it goes. Okay, thank you. I forget that if you have the screen locked, like you said, technical thing, you lock the screen, you can't change up anything. So it takes a minute for you to figure out operator error. That's what that is. Yeah. So I think 2 weeks ago we were, man, are we that old?
We are. we had done
Oh, we went we did the party. The photo shoot.
That's right. Yeah, we did a photo shoot.
We did a photo shoot. And you know, then we weren't able to.
We were tired, I think.
Next day, we were like, man, I'm wasted. Being lazy and then sloppy internet issues. I couldn't figure out, and I think it was when your brother told us it was a little cord and didn't know exactly what it was and trying to troubleshoot it and get everything fixed. That's how life kind of goes. So
yesterday was Good Friday, so we were at church.
Yeah, so we were actually at church, and interesting thing is, we were actually part of the team that filmed and hosted the online service for our church. So that was kind of a great honor, to actually be able to, be a part of the church, and can we see the photos?
Which ones?
Um,
Oh, from the photo
photo
shoot.
shoot.
I haven't posted them yet because I'm still waiting for payment.
Right. You gotta
I
be
haven't even edited. I was gonna do it. I was like, well, as soon as I receive, because they're gonna make payments, but I haven't received a payment yet. So once that starts coming through, I'll probably that'll motivate me to start editing.
okay.
So it was for a birthday party, a 50-year-old birthday party
Yeah.
with his
So
friends and family. It was really nice.
it was nice. So I'm trying to post it on LinkedIn to see my comments come up, but apparently it's not. So I don't know.
Mm.
Let me go to our scene here where you can see everybody, and
Phone number is still there.
phone number is still there. Um,
It's down there, I think. Right there. It's lit up with the T. Right there. See it?
yeah,
That one.
yeah, but see, I gotta unlock the screen. See,
That one.
that's what I was trying to do.
Oh.
I just couldn't see the little lock screen up there because then when it's locked, you can't see it. But yeah, apparently we are live on LinkedIn. Just for whatever technical reason, our comments aren't showing up.
Are they commenting?
Uh,
I
I,
only
I
see yours.
I just did, but usually if I comment though, it will
Pop up over here.
it'll populate. So who knows?
Yeah.
Part of it is that LinkedIn also recently made a change or a shift
Mhm.
with their policies. So kind of like what we're doing now, and kind of went going live on the fly a little bit. You do have to schedule it, but for whatever reason, they don't want you to be able to just go live anymore. Like you can't just you
Did
can't.
you have it scheduled?
No. Part of again operator error. No other reason except operator error. But I've had a lot. I had a lot of going on. I had a lot. LinkedIn has been having a lot of problems.
Yeah.
See, and I'm getting double comments, so I'm wondering if it's through Ecamm and through LinkedIn for whatever reason the
Mhm.
comments are like double showing or however. Because see, it has a little restream from YouTube and it resets a lot. Yeah, I guess it is what it is. If people tune in or they don't, I don't know.
Yeah.
But yeah, but lately I've been doing a lot of extracurricular stuff with my podcast. So I actually launched a podcast this week. Aptly named the podcast about podcasting. I mean, if you don't know what it is about, the title should tell you enough. So I've done and wrapped up, and my lovely wife was actually in the studio when I was doing these. I wrapped up my last two interviews today, which gives me a total of 25 interviews. I counted them all together. So since I started doing this at the beginning of March, and it's actually like the second week of March when I started doing all these interviews, I've taken on a heavy load of like interviewing 25 different people. And these are hour-long conversations, so it has taken up a majority of my time. But now that that part is done, I'll be able to shift focus again back onto our course, our lovely show, and want to do something for the wifey here who she's working on her own project. So, like I said, we got a lot of coals in the fire,
Yeah.
right? You're writing your
Chapter and in an anthology
in
book.
and yeah, say that 3 times fast.
An
In it,
anthology book.
say it multiple times. No, I'm just kidding. Plus, like you said, um, we were recording for our church as well. It's been a lot going on with the Easter, Good Friday. I mean, and that's part of it is just trying to stay active in our little community around here, and
Mhm.
then trying to do all these other one-off projects. because again, I've been talking about doing this podcast thing for a while, and I just decided, there we go, LinkedIn happens to be working.
There we go.
See, it just didn't like my comment. It's like, your comment sucks. Hello, Jose. Welcome.
Hi,
Happy
Jose.
Sabbath to the both of you. Yes, we will absolutely take that. But no, one of the things we are focusing or want to focus on moving forward, is that we wanted to also launch a podcast form of this show. Um,
And do interviews with people
yeah,
so we can get some input on different people and different perspectives of some of our topics and maybe some love advice. I don't know.
yeah.
Just
Well, I think
people
that,
that couples like that have been married for a long time.
yeah, and having on just subject matter experts, and then having on people who share their own like journeys about love, right? When we talk about self-love and that sort of thing, we also can bring into it people who've, or that have found that happy medium of being, what is it, happily single,
Mm-hmm.
or what is it, happily divorced. Some people, um, because this, we want to explore the ideas of what we've shared with most of you who've tuned in and watched about love and relationships. So I think,
We've covered a lot of topics so far.
I know, that's why I said we have
Yeah.
enough content to put together a book, which is a little bit down the road once the wifey gets her chapter, and then eventually she's working on a book herself. So once we get those coals moving in the fire, then it'll be um, our turn to get our love book put out there, and then to launch the podcast version of this, because what I'm learning and doing podcasting myself is it's I guess people feel a lot more intimate and comfortable when they know 40 people 40 people aren't watching, um their stories or their red flags or their vulnerabilities happen in real time.
Yeah.
um and that's always a cool thing to be able to do that, but some people might feel more comfortable in opening up, and I think doing a podcast version of it would be nice.
Yeah.
So that's what we've been kind of doing. So we've pushed we pushed back things a little bit. We will be back next week. Hopefully Friday on regular time. I don't think we have. We'll be past everything, I hope. Like Easter will be taken care of. Yeah, I don't think we have anything else scheduled. And then we're going to try to wrap up. We started a 8-week series, and we made it 2 weeks in, and then we had to shift a little bit, but we have about another 6 more episodes that I really want to push to get put out. And then from there,
On what?
um, modern dating,
Oh, our modern
our
dating
modern
series.
our
Yes.
modern dating series. Like we've already talked about texting. I think the next thing we need to do is like, of course, dating apps. Um,
Yeah, we did texting and then we did privacy
yeah,
on the phone. Um, but yeah, we didn't really go into detail about social media.
yeah, that's another one.
So, social media or we've we've really talked about dating apps before, but we might put another spin to it. Like what are some issues
Yeah.
in
Well,
particular with dating apps?
well, a lot of things. Well, here's the thing: a lot of things have shifted, darling, since we did um, our last episode of doing dating apps, because people don't realize it just yet, but AI is playing a big role in how these dating apps are now being rolled out. Now, I've seen a
Really?
lot of these where uh, people will take images, photos of themselves, and make the best image quality for themselves.
They were kind of doing that before with like Photoshop, but yeah, with the AI, it's even different
It's
because
you can change
you can,
everything.
yeah, you can change, and I'm sure catfishing is on the rise
So
because of that.
even that, but then using AI to help develop like dating profiles.
Oh yeah.
Um, so it's changed the way that, and the only reason I know about this because um, I started down the rabbit hole of like AI and image generation and what it was, and I found a thread on Reddit where people were talking about how AI, people are using it more often in their dating apps, and I was like, interesting, like that really caught my eye, and I thought about it. Um,
Mhm.
because within AI, you can pretty much be a very charming MF, or excuse my language, when you're talking to somebody. You can
Mhm.
literally copy and paste someone's response, like when you're texting back and forth to each other or whatever, to sound better than what you what you possibly
Mhm.
are. And that's the scary part about the what I like to say, the darker side of how AI can be used, because like you said, the catfishing now extremities are tenfold. Because you can literally, like, again, you can literally take your photos and clean up all the blemishes and everything else. And what happens when you show up in real time, and it's like
Mhm.
you are nothing like what you're nothing like what it says.
That's a good one.
That's another interesting angle.
When two different AIs hook up, yeah, they're like, "Oh, damn."
Yeah. It's like,
They fooled me too.
you can literally, so
Yeah, because 'cause they're getting that AI pictures are getting kind of more realistic.
they are some of them. I promise you, I could find 10 of them and you wouldn't know. You would be like, that's real.
Mhm.
And the way that now the technologies is speeding up, of course they're going to incorporate it into dating apps. I mean, even the things of what I was reading, it somebody had put that they give you auto responses now. Um, so in
Mhm.
integrating your AI and how you respond to somebody, if somebody types in something and it could be, I don't know, hey, I really like the way that you look. You have a great set of eyes. You know, it'll give you responses to reply back with. And to me, that's like, it defeats the purpose of
So
actual,
is the AI being built into the app
they're being,
so you just tell the app to respond a certain way?
yes. So,
That shouldn't be
well,
allowed.
this is what people are doing with AI, right? They're building their own dating apps, darling.
Mm.
So, in terms of building their own dating apps and starting inviting people to jump on, to beta test, to do all these other things on these apps that they're creating, that's part of the feature. So
Mm.
it is kind of crazy. That's what I'm saying. From when we were doing it in just a short amount of time, from when we were
Yeah.
going through dating apps until now, again, it's moved so quickly. It's fast, and that's why I want to discuss like what the dating apps are now looking like, because again,
Mhm.
it's a different environment. Uh, I think we got out of the game just in time, just as, just in time, um, because I don't know if I would want to have to. It was already hard enough to sort
Mhm.
through so many different profiles, so many different
Mhm.
people, and then you start realizing that you're going to be able to sound your best, look your best.
It really takes a lot of time to sift through all of them, meet them in person, find out if, what they posted online is who they really are. And like, I went through a lot. I know you did too. Like, it was hard enough. But then when you throw in AI, it just adds to it.
Yeah, and this is true. Look, AI does resume and interview questions, so why not dating apps? Exactly.
Mhm.
I actually did an Indeed thing where they run you through a trial interview.
Mm.
How insane is that? It's asking you the questions like if you were actually sitting down with an interviewer or HR manager. So it gives you all these questions. It listens to what it's telling you, and then it gives you like feedback. So why wouldn't they have this in dating apps where you could actually? Now I don't know if this is a feature, but I'm pretty sure it is. If it's already being used in HR in talent acquisition, it's being used in dating where you can practice talking to a potential partner. You can say, "Hey AI, let's practice talking like I want to date somebody."
Mhm.
So pretty much that's the part of what I've been
Mm.
discussing is that a lot of the programs
Yeah,
now.
I'm trying to remember. There was some other I don't know if it was a webs. I'm trying to remember what it was. But I noticed that they added in an AI feature. Like there's a lot more websites and programs and um I think it's in Google. So like it didn't used to be there, but before you could, when you were doing a Google search for pictures like clip art or images, it would search for them across the web. Well, now it's built in, AI is built into it because I was making um a Google slide presentation for my class. I like to set those up because it just kind of, you can put pictures or questions and throw it up on the screen real easily. And so I noticed instead of like searching the web for a picture, now it's like describe it. Describe what you want and then it generates an image for you. So
Yeah.
it's all AI generated now. Instead of searching the web, it's built into Google Slides.
Mhm. And that's the part where I'm saying that it's already being integrated into a lot of these apps already. So again, why not dating? Why not? Yeah, uh, of course they're going to be like, hey, this is a feature. Like that was probably the
Mhm.
first thing they noticed. It's like let's throw these into dating apps. Like seriously. So again, the landscape has shifted when it comes to how modern dating is. That's why I want to go back and reevaluate like dating apps. Um, because when we did our episode 2, we kind of did a factual or not a factual, a fictional, excuse me. We did a fictional. Oh, happy morning and best wishes. Love it. So when we did our show, we did a fictional uh like setup of an account and we used Hinge. And and we created that ourselves. That was us putting all the talking points and everything in there and building out
Yeah.
everything. But nowadays with AI agents, it's you know, you find whatever picture. Um, again, this is where again it's going to take the level of catfishing up like tenfold. Is you're going to take a picture when you look younger, and then you're going to say, "Make me look similar to where I am now, even with the modern age."
Yeah, well, I know they've already been doing that even before AI to make themselves look a lot younger with filters. But yeah, now you can totally transform your look. So it's not just removing the blemishes and making you look younger, it's making you look like a different person.
You pretty much can. You can say, "Hey, change my hair to I want to be blonde again. So take this photo, make me blonde," and then boom, you're blonde again, and you put it back onto your dating
Yeah,
profile.
there's people that post like pictures, I know on TikTok and Facebook and they'll be like, "Which hairstyle do you like the best on me?" And they'll post like 5 different pictures of them with 5 different hairstyles. So yeah, change hairstyle, your look, everything.
Everything changes. So, yeah, that's where I want to go back and really dive deep into that part of it
Mhm.
because, like I said, things constantly change all the time when it comes to modern dating because um, as they start integrating all these different features into it, it's even going to change how you do like texting protocols pretty soon. Um, once you start, texting back and forth with somebody, you're going to be able to say, "Hey, AI, will you respond to that comment?" Like literally, it's going to be that terrible. Uh,
Jeez.
because you can already do this now with Claude. You can set a shortcut inside of an
It's
app.
almost like setting us up for that one movie that Bruce Willis is in where you just sit in your chair and then you make your AI clone go out and live your life for you, and you basically tell it what to do and you're just sitting in a chair the whole time.
Yeah,
And their
just
their AI person is out there,
living.
working for you and doing whatever, and you're just sitting back on a couch eating potato chips. Like you don't have to worry about anything.
I hope I'm gone before that gets here. Um, because again, I like, this is why I'm doing um podcasting now. There you go. Right, anyone can do crip walking once you exactly. There's babies, like
Mhm.
newborn babies at crip walk.
Talk,
You
sing.
talk, your dog, your cat. Like I've made a video where I'm fighting, doing jujitsu with a cat, fighting back and forth with it. So I know what it can do. But part of me, this is why I wanted to go down the journey of podcasting. Because it takes you being authentically present and having a conversation with somebody and being able to put it out into the world. Um, because I'm going to tell you right now, this is the difference between a normal AI and a normal conversation between two people. When you can create an AI podcast. You absolutely can. Go to Notebook LM, type in a whole bunch of source information. It will build you out of a 14 to 30-minute AI conversation between two hosts. Like you can literally build out a podcast right now and not even have to speak.
And you can ask it questions
It-
and then it answers you like it's live.
It's live. Okay. So it
Yeah.
does, you can build this and create it down. This technology is already there. And I'm, without a shadow of a doubt, people are already using it in these terms. But what I will say about when you're doing a podcast is that the things like this, um, you know, well, like all the small little pauses that most podcasters right now try to take out of their conversations, those are going to be the identifiers at some point that these are actual real people having conversations. The person
You
that's
mean not real people?
yeah, yeah, that's what I meant. But yeah. So he's saying he does this for school right now. Like you can literally do this and create conversations based on a subject matter, and you can build out slides for it. I mean, it's great to use this information. It really is. But there's something that gets lost in the translation of when you're actually having a conversation between two people. Um, and that's why I've decided I want to go down the path of creating a more podcast out there into the world. Until that becomes a medium that, to AI eventually, it's already there. Like it creates most of the content structure pillars that people use. It creates most of the outline that's a lot of people talk about. But I like to think that in the midst of a lot of those conversations and even having that AI information in front of you, you still want to pull back to the free flow, lucid side of conversation between two people. Um, and that's where I find the value in doing podcast and doing live streams even to this day, because people know I'm here. Like AI hasn't got that good yet where it can recreate me with everything, with the flaws and all the technical crap that I do. um so that's just part of, and he's saying my professor actually encourages using Notebook LM. Hey, great. Like I said, I'm a proponent of using AI if it helps you. But I am also someone that says it's a tool. Understand that it's a tool. It's not the thing that's supposed to create everything for you.
Just like the cell phone, it's a tool. It has so many different features in it that can help our lives and improve our lives. But how many, I mean, kids are given phones at younger than 10 I don't think 10 is a good age. I know a lot of kids get it at 10 years old. But some kids get phones before that, and then they're in high school. They don't know how to use that as an actual tool to help them. It's an escape mechanism. Like, how do I escape the world by using this device? It's not to help them improve anything
Right.
other than, I guess, their mood.
Their mood. Well, again, part of me feels the conflicted side of using AI and and still remaining authentic and genuine, uh, which gets lost. I mean, that's why people will gravitate more towards sending a text message to an individual instead of calling them, because it takes away the inhibition of having to actually hear somebody's voice talking to
Is
them.
that showing real love, honey?
What's that?
When you're only sending text messages and not calling them?
Well, I don't think it does. But I just mean it in terms of communication between two parties.
Yeah,
I think.
I'm trying to steer the conversation back to unwrap love or love talk.
Oh
That's
yeah.
why I
Oh yeah.
threw in the love comment.
Well, that's what I'm saying. No, it's huh? Yeah.
We're in the middle of a show.
Yes. What do you need? Sir? Hmm? Yes. Go ahead. Knock yourself out, son. That's what it's there for. Um. But yes. Uh, when it comes to when it comes to those kind of things, um, what you just were mentioning, yeah, I was trying to circle it back around to what we were talking about in love, but when when two people are having a conversation, um, especially when you're getting to know somebody, back when the first part of how you used to have to date was do what? You had to jump on a phone call. You know, you had to talk to somebody. You did have to eh, hear somebody's voice. Like you had to talk.
That came through again.
Um,
She said that earlier.
maybe AI has taken over Yolanda Chin. AI, she succumbed. Blink twice, Yolanda, if you need help. We'll send help. No, but so what I'm saying is that, back when we were younger, if we wanted to talk to somebody, get to know somebody, we had to do it.
Called him.
We called them, or we had to do it face to face. Like that's the only way that you had interaction. Then with the advent of pagers that had texting and back and forth, that sort of started it. And then all of a sudden,
Did you know all the codes on the pager before it was two-way pager?
no,
Like 1731707, I think it was.
173.
It's I love you.
Oh,
It's like one
well, I never had a girlfriend in high
one
school,
seven
so I never had somebody.
173. I love you. Because 17 was a U.
Right.
And then love was 30. I think what do we use for V?
Now
I think we did a 17
the only
again.
one that
And
I
then a
remember for
7
sure
and then a
was
1.
the let's see, hold on. It was the 58008. That's the only one that I knew.
What was that? Acid? Wait,
No.
5.
58008. So when you would flip it over,
Boobs? Oh, okay.
that's the only one that I knew, because I was I was a 14-year-old guy.
I was 16 when I had a pager.
Yeah.
We would send it, and then everybody had their own code that they would put in. Mine was 667. So anytime I texted anybody with a phone number that they didn't recognize, I would add 667 to the end, and then they knew it was me trying to call them, and so then they would call the
Yeah.
number because they knew it was me.
But that's how it had to start, though. And from there, once we started getting modern cell phones and started to be able to text back and forth, um, people just found that easier because they were like, you know what, I don't want to have a.
Yeah, and then some don't like. Yeah, when we made phone calls, we eventually met face to face, but sometimes people don't like to meet face to
Face-
face, so they'll just text.
They'll just text. And to me, that's like defeats the purpose, especially when you're trying to get to know someone, when you're trying to date someone, when you want to talk to. I want to hear somebody's voice.
Mhm.
That's where I was different from a lot of other individuals, because I was used to just hopping on the phone with strangers. I'm doing it now behind a microphone. I was doing it behind a microphone, just jumping with people and oh yeah, get the number off. I got the number. Right. That's how it was. Yeah, but that's where, texting started to get into the forefront of how people communicated back and forth. And now eventually it's with AI, it's going to be AI. It's going to handle all of that. Like, you're literally, listen, this is the crazy part. You can take your voice. You can literally take your voice, put it into an AI voice generator, train it multiple times. You can multiple phrases, and then you can have your voice recreate messages and text them back to somebody. Like, if somebody, that's why I said this, the catfishing game is going to be 10x, because somebody's like, I don't believe you're real. They could actually, this is the crazy part. You could actually hear me on a live stream like right now. They could take my voice, put it into an AI generator, and this is not legal though. Okay, so they put in a voice generator, recreate my voice, and then they could send messages to people back and forth saying, "Oh yeah, this is Gabe," and they'll be like, "What?" And they'll hear it. And if somebody recognizes or know me, they're gonna say, "Oh yeah, that does sound like Gabe. Yeah, that's him." Like, it's crazy. That's why I said that the level and insane the way that people are going to be able to catfish each other, and even if they're doing it honestly. Some people are so introverted, darling, that they don't want to go down that path of having deep conversations, yet they're still yearning to have somebody in their life. And they're going to use AI to say, you know what? Maybe I'm gonna snatch my honey bunny this way. I'll use AI. I'll be slick.
Did you ever watch that Catfish show?
Yeah. Oh yeah.
Oh yeah, there was a
That,
lot of
that, that-
and then there was some that like fell in love with their person that was catfishing them, and when they met him in person and they realized they were completely different, they were like, "It's okay, I'll accept it," and they stayed with them.
oh,
Like, that was bizarre on some of the cases, but
I hope it
most of
was.
them were like, "Mm."
Yeah, I'm done. Well, you get an idea in your head. Um. Oh God, yes. 100%.
Yes, I'm so happy.
That's
It's a
why
big relief.
that's why I said we got out just in time. Like, we got out before the era of all of this having to happen.
But there was still lots of stuff going
Oh, of
on,
course.
like, yeah, I mean, we didn't escape everything, but we had to go through a lot of it to find each other. It's, like, hard to it's not an instant, I can use a dating app and meet somebody and fall in love and marry them kinda thing, like, you really have to go through a lot of people before you decide.
Yeah, exactly. We did.
Yeah,
We got
very good
we
timing.
got out the game when it.
Yeah, and I was telling him earlier, I was looking at like different things we could talk about today, and one of them was what happens when your partner forgets a date, and we both forgot it. So yeah, we've been officially together. He asked me to be his girlfriend on 3/31. That was when we made it official, and we both forgot it.
2020.
Our first year, we actually went to a nice dinner and,
Yeah.
like, did all kinds of stuff, stayed at a hotel, and that's when he proposed to me. And then after that, like, no, we haven't.
Since then, we've
We
been married
forgot it.
twice.
Yeah, well, we did get married twice.
So, we have gone down that path
We just forgot the
we
3/31 date.
was yeah.
And then our other marriage date
Right.
too, that one went by already.
Oh no, that's not yet.
Mhm.
August, no.
Yeah, but this last year,
Oh,
we
this
didn't
last year.
celebrate it.
No, we didn't celebrate it. Well, of
No.
course not. We were about to get remarried. We were going to get married officially
Yeah,
the
but
fall,
after we got married,
after we got married.
it passed by already.
Yeah, but yeah, August 8th
Mhm.
was our first first
Marriage.
and then of course June 14th is
June
the official
14th.
one.
Yes.
So
Through the court.
but the way that I see it though, it's like when a store has an opening, they'll have what they call a soft launch. Well, they'll be like, well, we open the doors, but it's not our grand opening yet. So that's kind of what our first marriage was. Our first marriage was our soft launch, and then of course our grand opening was June 14th. We're officially open to the public at that point. At
But
that
yeah,
point,
we've officially been together 3 years now.
yeah, 3 years. What do you think about that?
I don't know, like, it feels like it's been a long time, but then also a short time. I don't know.
Like,
How does it feel to you?
it still feels fresh.
Fresh?
Um, you know, in the grand scope of things, um, 3 years is a very short amount of time. Um, and the way that I hope you're laughing at the previous comment, not this last one we both got our soft. There you got the soft launch. Good. And then Gregory was here.
The soft one.
So his comment. There you go. Hello, people in bed in the dark. Have CNN in the background waiting for
For the Apple Turns
50
50
documentary.
documentary.
I was born on
It's not April 1st.
Apple was born on April 1st. Oh,
Mm.
it's my daughter's birthday. She just turned. That's another thing that was crazy this week is that I now have another 16-year-old daughter.
Mm.
You're a veteran. You've raised a couple of young women into this world, but for me, I'm still getting there. Next month, at the end of next month, I'll have a 19-year-old. So, man, time goes by so fast. So
I have a 27-year-old. My other daughter, I think she's 23 now. I don't know. Time escapes me.
yeah, it does.
And then Lena, I think, would have been 28 or 29. I gotta do my math. And then 7-year-old.
7-year-old. Yeah. Quite a large spread between the last two.
Mhm.
Yeah, but 3 years is not, I mean, like I said, so many things have shifted and changed within the last 3 years since we've been together.
Mhm.
And it's still like everything still frills.
It frails.
I can't spoke right.
How does it frail, baby?
It frills good. It still frills fresh. I'll say that 5 times fast. Okay. No, but it still feels new to me. Like there's still days where I find myself still in amazement that this is my life right now. Because when I used to be alone and going through, long nights, I didn't quite envision my life would be like this so fast. I thought it would be years. Honestly, I thought it'd be years. Like I thought, man, it's going to take me about 3, 4, 5 years before I find anything or anyone to even move. I didn't have hopes back then. Not that I didn't want to. I just didn't have the. It wasn't in my mindset that I was going to find somebody the long term because the amount of people that I'd talked to and had rejection from. So I just thought this is going to be the norm for me. Get used to it, Gabe.
I know. I thought I was gonna die just being a grandma. I didn't know I was gonna get married again.
Get married again, right? Yeah, if you go back 3 years and you tell yourself, "Oh, in 3 years you're going to be married again. You're going to be this. You're going to be that. You're going to have." It, it wouldn't have been. It wouldn't have registered. It would have been like, no way. Whose life did you go look at? Was it mine? Are you sure it was mine? So yeah, it still feels new. Ask me again in 7 years. At the 10-year mark, it might be then a little different. It might be like, okay, this is my, yeah, but it still feels good. Um, because so much has transpired in those 3 years for us, and so many things have continually changed and shifted. So it doesn't feel like it's, you know, like you said. I think it does feel like it's been a long time, but it's been a short time. Make the math, but uh, that's kind of where. As far as what we've been like, even doing this together, we've actually been doing this almost as long as we've been together. You know, we met, and within a couple of months of after us meeting and becoming boyfriend and girlfriend, you were jumping on live streams with me. You've been doing this for 3 years. What does that feel like? Like I was saying, so much has shifted in the amount of time, and that's how fast. That's how fast life goes by. That's how fast your dating life can go by. You could be married one day, and then in 2 years from now, you're like, I'm divorced. I'm living somewhere new. I have another new dog. I knew whatever that is, whatever that outcome looks like for you. So just know that things shift pretty quickly in a short amount of time.
Yes, and we both unwrap to live.
And we have unwrapped love. We have. That's, I mean, just when, again, sitting down and thinking about when we were coming up conceptually this, and to find it where we are now, and seeing that we have an audience, we have people, we have, um, it's been part of the fun part of this journey. We've got to share it not only between us, but then we have all these incredible people in our lives who show up. The people at our church who've been part of our life, like all that stuff there. That's why I said it still doesn't register. It still feels very new, and still feels, you know, at times unfamiliar, because I didn't perceive this was going to be my life. I wanted this, but there's a difference between sitting down and saying I want something, and actually getting it. You know, and just sitting down, I think about it all the time. I bask in it. Um, I enjoy it because I know how fast our life has changed in 3 years. In 3 years from now, I know it could be completely different. So, that's why when we talked about, the good times and realizing what those are, we're living it. we're it's good right now. Life is good and it's beautiful, even with all the busyness and all the other stuff we have going on. This is the best part of being able to sit down and, um, spend time with you, other than just like, most couples might be sitting in bed together doing a Sudoku puzzle or something. I don't know. I don't know why that just sticks in my head, but, um,
Now we're in bed and you're learning konnichiwa.
konnichiwa. Learning Japanese.
Watashi no.
Look,
Hey, I'm picking up some words.
she's
Just
picking up
listen
words.
to you
She's
learn.
listening to me learn. She's learning by osmosis, like literally sitting there next to me, hearing words and going, "What does boshi mean?" And then she's like, "What does watashino mean? What does, because she's listening. She's right there next to me in bed. So yeah, this is, again, this is part of the fun part of the journey and figuring everything out and how much your life can shift and change. In 3 years, you don't know, you could be teaching English in Japan. Who knows? You learn so much. But you know, that's why doing the whole modern love thing and approaching it and kind of doing it over and over again, even though you might think it's cyclical. Is that the word cyclical? Yeah, where it comes. It Even as that cycle continues to go, it's going to change. It changes. That's how fast. Within 3 years, the way that we used to date 3 years ago is not the same approach that you would take nowadays. You have to shift the way that you date now, because the game has changed again. And Charles
From Hong Kong.
Hong Kong.
Hello.
Where's Hong Kong, darling? You used to teach
It's in China.
China
It's like its own
province or its own.
kinda like I don't know, some people might call it a country, but it's just it's like a city state kind of thing. It's a major city, but it's also has its own government and rules that are separate from China.
Okay, so
Correct me if I'm wrong, Charles, but that's what I remember learning and teaching.
Charles, thank you for watching in Hong Kong. God, it's got to be what, daytime over there already? It's
It's on the other
it's
side.
on the other side of the world, so yeah, he's already east.
Yeah, we used to like as kids, we'd be digging in the yard. We'd be like, if we keep digging, we'll make it to China. Take
Right.
a lot of digging. We'll get to the other side.
Get to the other side. Ugh. Fun times being that naive.
Little, yes.
That young.
We were explorers and thinkers, and there was so much. Like, I just remember my childhood being so just amazing because we didn't have the technology that distracts us from learning about things or being outside and exploring and being social with people face to face. Like, I was born in 78. So in the 80s, I was playing outside, and then my parents were very supportive of anybody we played with, and we lived in an apartment complex that had a lot of diversity. There was people that came in from other countries and just different beliefs and different ethnicities. And so I played with every kid from China to Russia to Africa. I mean, it didn't matter. Like wherever you came from, when they were in the neighborhood, we just played, and we didn't see color as anything other than like, okay, yeah, your skin color is different from mine, but kids were kids. Like we played and we had fun and we explored and we pretended like we were restaurant owners. Sometimes my brother would come up with these insane recipes, and we just go out in the front yard and make pretend food and try to pretend like we had a restaurant. Like we played and we role played and we did hands-on things. And now I feel like I don't know, it's so different with kids today where they do some play, but a lot of times just parents cater to their technological love for cell phones and games, and that's all they really like to do anymore.
Yeah.
It's a lot of that play is taken.
Things have shifted. That's why I say even in our own dating again in the adult world, those things change too. And savor the flavor of awesomeness in Sugarland. So yes, tonight's conversation sounds so delectable. That's always
Scrumptiously, deliciously, edibly tasty good.
there you go. My wife can say it really good. I stutter on some of those words. Kenneth. Sorry, my brain
I
doesn't.
used to love saying the tongue twisters like as fast as I could when I was younger.
See, she's had practice. Me, I get hung up on delectable. That one throws me off. Like, you know what? I've made it this far. I'm good.
I'd be like, Peter Piper picked up pickled peppers. I
So,
would just say them
say it that
fast.
way.
She sells seashells by the seashore.
That's why I say when I hear something that sounds very confusing, I say that 5 times really fast for me. Like I just for me, my brain wants to sees the words as fast as I possibly can, but my mouth goes, wait, what is that word? Like my mouth just says, we can't say that fast. Slow down. Like we are on 2 different wavelengths. Go ahead, brain. You can say it as fast as you want in your head, but the mouth ain't saying it the same. So yeah, I get tongue tied at times when it comes to certain words, and Kenneth is always one who presents a challenge for me every week. So thank you, Kenneth. Keep me on my toes. It's like learning Sudoku in Japanese. Trying to speak fast. But yeah,
I can speak really fast.
You speak. You can. But this is when we're talking about what she was just talking about was growing up and the things that we've experienced and how things have shifted. That's kind of the theme of what we're talking about here tonight in
Even dating.
dating and relationships, how things shift and things change so quickly. Um, because in this, in again, in this day and age, things the way that you approach dating and the way that you approach relationships with people have changed.
You have to be more cautious
Well,
today
part
too.
of what you were saying involves this though,
Mhm.
and how this thing, even though it is a tool, it can be a way to be decisive when it comes to a relationship.
Mhm.
Because even though it is a tool, tools can be used in multiple ways. A hammer is just a hammer. It's used to build great things like houses, and it used properly, it provides so many things. It provides shelter. But if you also take a hammer and beat somebody over the head with it, it becomes a weapon of death. It's not.
It was spontaneous,
It's.
Ken.
Oh, yeah, yes.
We weren't sure. He was like, "Should we?" And then I was like, "Well," and then he was like, "Okay, let's have it." And then I was like, "Are we really?" And then
Yeah.
yeah, so it wasn't scheduled.
It was scheduled. Operator error, Kenneth. Not about that. But again, this is the tool, and how modern relationships rely. Um, because somebody thinks because I have a phone that you have instant access to that person.
Oh my god.
So when it comes to, well, when it
I'm
comes,
so glad he's not like that. Because sometimes I'm bad. Like I might click on a message and forget to even heart it. I try to always heart it if I click on a message, but I don't know if I have ADD or what, but things distract me, especially being at school and a teacher, and I might see it and then I've got something else to do, or I get distracted and then I don't always respond right away. And he's never in 3 years, he's never questioned why I did not text him back fast enough. Oh my God, that is the most annoying ass shit I have ever heard. And I have family members that do this to me. I thought I got rid of all of the people in my life that used to do that, but no, family you don't get rid of. And some of them don't understand that if you don't text them back, why don't you call me? Like, ugh, I
well,
don't always respond to texts.
yeah. So this is what I said. This is a tool, and tools used in a proper way, of course, are very useful. But then again, used improperly, it becomes a way to be decisive in dealing with relationships. Because somebody can think they have instant access to you. You didn't respond to me fast enough, right? Just what you said in this particular situation.
So annoying.
But the thing is, growing up, we didn't have that option.
I loved that freedom back then
Back,
to be wherever you wanted to go and nobody bothered you.
well, there was. So I will say this: it was twofold in how it was looked. Because if you're worried a lot about somebody or something happened, especially like I'm gonna use this in a situation. This is how I was born. This is how I was born. My dad didn't know that my mom was going into labor. My aunt, she had to go to my aunt's house next door, or it was his aunt, excuse me, and she had to ask for a ride to the hospital. And then on the way to the hospital, they had a flat tire,
Mhm.
and then somebody had to help them change the flat tire while my mom was in labor with me, and then finally get to the hospital, and then finally to be able to contact my dad. Now, had I been born in that car on the side of the road with the flat tire, interesting story, but um, a lot of things could have gone wrong. Could have been born backwards. It could have been whatever, right? So yes, the technology and sometimes the instant access really do help in certain situations, but I think it's how, again, it is used, and how you approach communication with people. And understanding that Leslie said it perfectly when she said boundaries, baby.
Boundaries. That's why I don't respond.
Boundaries.
I
Uh,
turn off my phone. I have no notifications. Like, I don't have anything. That's why sometimes I miss things, of course, but I don't, my phone doesn't even vibrate anymore because it just annoys me. I don't like being at the beck and call of something.
Yeah.
I feel like I'm like a slave to it and I'm not
That,
going
and
to.
that's why, like,
I don't.
in my mind, this is how it works. I still have the same mindset that I did have as a kid growing up. which is they'll get around to contacting me when they're ready.
Mhm.
Like, I try not to worry about that. In my mind, it is.
And hey, Leslie, good to see you.
In my mind, it would be like when I think in my head she's busy. I don't want to bother her when she's busy. I understand she's a teacher. I understand that there are protocols that she probably has to handle.
And he knows too if it's that big of an emergency, like he'll call me. Like there was one time last year that I was going through some stuff and I didn't call him and it was unusual and he probably was I don't know if he was texting me. Were you texting me a lot that day and I didn't respond?
Uh,
And I didn't come home and I had forgotten to tell him about a parent teacher
Teacher conference thing.
conference. And so he called me.
Yeah.
And so he knew like to call me, and if he hadn't have gotten hold of me through my phone, he would have called the school.
Yeah. So,
So
and that's just part of it. Like, there's no high alert on in
mm-mm,
certain things when it comes to, but I don't also think like she's at my beck and call. Like the moment that I place a text or I try to
mm-mm.
call her, she doesn't answer. Um, so I'm somebody like I don't I'm not needy when it comes to that.
Thank God.
Um,
I couldn't handle it.
you
I
know,
broke up with a guy over it because he was annoying as hell. Like for 2 months, I dated him, and then towards the end, it just kept getting worse. All like revolved around texting, and it was, "You're treating me this way because of a text, or you didn't respond, during the day, or you're not texting me fast enough." And there was too many instances, and I was like, "We're done. Like, I can't do this anymore. Mm-mm,
yeah,
no."
and there and again, that's where having a phone comes into play with a lot of things. Like it has connected in multiple ways of how you can connect with somebody across the world. Like it has condensed your neighborhood. Like you can have people who are friends in England or Hong Kong. You have access to people now all
Mm,
across this globe. But it also means you have to be able to say no. Simply no. I don't want to.
yeah.
I don't want
Mm.
to answer the phone. That is my prerogative. And if I let you in, I let you in willingly, not as an expectation, but as me saying, "Okay, I want to have this conversation." And it shouldn't come with grief or guilt about having a boundary like that. If you
Mhm.
say no, you say no. There's no, I don't have to give an explanation. I don't care if I came out your birth canal. Okay? To me, it is, I am a grown ass man, or I'm a grown ass woman, or I'm a grown ass person. I will get around to contacting you when I am good and ready. That is understanding a boundary. And it is okay for you to have a boundary. Just as the same way it is to do outreach to somebody and to say, "Hey, I'm checking to make sure you feel good tonight. Are you okay? Is life okay?" Like, that's fine. Send the message. If they don't respond back, you've done your part.
Yeah, I usually respond to people that are not like sending me 500 messages to try to get me to respond.
Yeah.
It's overwhelming to me, so I just put my phone away.
But that's again, and the reason we were talking about this is because we were talking about modern dating and communication and how you do outreach to somebody. Like we talked about when we were growing up, it used to be different. Again, you had to, even before phones, you had to write letters.
Mhm.
Like I know it was snail mail and it took forever, but there was something
I
about
used to mail letters to guys I liked.
okay,
I
see,
would
but
write
then
them a letter and
write them
mail
a
it.
letter, but that was again, you use the methods that are presented to you at the time. It had to be mailed, then it became phone calls, then it became texting, and now it's becoming, whatever's next. Um, but you still have to have
Oh,
boundaries when it comes to it. Like, look, here's the thing: if somebody sent you a letter back in the day and you got the
mhm.
letter, it was up to you to decide. I don't want to read this. I don't like this person. I'll throw it
Mm.
away, save it. You see the movies where I saved all your letters for 20 years, but that's things that how life was back then.
Hey, Josette.
Hey, just said. And then it became phone calls. And then it got to the point where you had answer machines and people could get voicemails and you didn't have to check and listen to.
Oh my gosh, you just triggered a memory of mine. So I used to have this. I used to live in this apartment, and I had this phone. And that was another thing too. With this phone, I never got a phone bill for some reason, so I never paid the phone bill. But I lived there for at least a year, and I didn't have caller ID, and I didn't have an answering machine. I was very broke. But I remember my apartment was like $400, but I was barely making it. And so I would get phone calls, and sometimes I wouldn't know who was calling me because I didn't have caller ID. So I'd have to answer it with a disguised voice. And I was like,
Hi.
"What up? Hey, hello. Who this? Who this?" And they'd be like, is Yvette there? And I'm like, who? And if I didn't like them or didn't want to talk to them, be like, nah. And I just just disguise my voice, but that was the only way I could screen my phone calls because I didn't know who was calling me. But yeah, that was
That was one
most
way
the
to
fun
hide it, yeah.
days.
Those were the days, right? You could sit there and answer your phone and
Who
and
this?
do it. I used to do it with Spanish. So somebody would call and say, bueno. I'd act like I was an old lady. Like I would act like an old lady. Bueno, ¿quién habla? And they would go, oh. And they would say, is, Gabriel there? I said, no sabes inglés. And they say, oh, I'm sorry, Gabriel, like is there. And I said, no entiendo, no entiendo. Señor." And that sort of thing. So yeah, you can hide it, but this is where, again, this is where we learned, King says you're pretty good at that. You're doing that voice. Yeah.
I had to figure out because I needed to sound tough and manly too, because I was, a girl living in an apartment by myself. And what if, like, I don't know, I had a stalker or something? I didn't want them knowing I was at my house by myself. So, yeah, so I would make myself sound like a guy.
Yeah. So again, nowadays in modern dating, how you connect with somebody, it's simply like people get upset now when they go, "How come you don't share your location with me?" Like,
Who's asking you that?
oh, I've seen videos
Oh,
like
from other people.
from other people, like they're doing
Because we
skits.
share a location
We
with
share
each
our
other.
locations, but people do skits like, "How come we turn off your location? Your location was off for like an hour."
No, people don't like it if you're not allowing them to see that you read their message. So
Yeah,
I
that's
have
it.
mine off because I don't want people to know when I read their message. I don't care for them to know that. So mine's off.
Mine's off.
Um,
I didn't leave it on anyway because then they're like, "How come you didn't respond?" It's like, well, what do you want me to tell you? I was taking a dump or something, and I didn't want to respond. Like, sorry, nature
mine
called.
usually just says delivered.
But
But yeah, some people it makes them mad when they can't see that, but like it doesn't bother me.
so I like
My daughter, my 27-year-old, it always says delivered, but I know she sees my messages and I don't really
sound like
care.
what Leslie's like. Gen Xers started with maybe exactly. Yeah, we went into pagers. We started talking about the codes. The 58008, and then what was the other one you said?
173. I think 17 again because the V and the U kind of look the same, and then 0, and then 7, and then 1. So that's
Yeah.
I love you because you flip it up.
Oh, you
Upside
flip it
down,
upside down.
and then
And
it says
Coach
I love you.
Carrie's like, I'm done with my nap. Saying hello.
Hey, Coach Gary.
Coach Carrie.
Yeah, I forgot to say, I don't know if Leslie's still on, but we did a Zoom call today because we're writing a book together. And I totally forgot to say that we do live streams.
Oh, yeah, we do. She
I
forgot
didn't
to
even,
mention it.
I totally forgot to say it. I thought about it later. I was like, oh, yeah.
So King was like, I got a flat tire stuck on the side of the road for hours, and my boyfriend at the time got a pager. Everyone thought he was a deer. I know, right? The
Yeah,
connotation.
I had one. I was in high school and I carried one.
Yes. And then Gregory's like, when did you take a nap? We wired all night. Right? Oh my gosh.
6'7".
I love y'all. But part of how you move forward with how you communicate
Mm,
in a lot of the dating, and we were just talking about before a lot of the people joined us. We were talking about how AI is getting integrated into a lot of the things that we're using. Not to get back on the topic of AI, but we were talking about how it's being integrated now into the dating apps and how communication
mm,
and eventually at some point they'll have to come a straw where it's like communication is going to be void of genuine authenticity when you can communicate with somebody, because AI is going to be like, hey, Jenny texted you, what would you like to send back? And you're going to send back a reply, and Jenny's going to read it and go, oh, Roy texted me, let me text Roy back with this preset message. Um, so I mean, AI is kind of changing how, again, your approach to dating will shift. And oh, I went to bed for you. um, oh, yeah, good
Oh,
reason for a nap.
so well, yeah, but have you been asleep all day since 4 a.m.?
Right, I forgot about that. But no, I have. I'll have my AI talk to your AI. Yes, exactly. Yolanda made mention of that too earlier. But yeah, but again, when it comes to genuine conversations and how you're going to manage those moving forward, we were lucky as Gen Xers to have the ability to first of all live the first half of our lives without having tracking. We were out and about, we're roaming around. We didn't have pagers. So at a certain point, we didn't have pagers. We didn't have cell phones. We didn't have, you had a payphone and that was it. You carried a quarter, however much you called on the payphone to check in, and then life moved forward. And of course, then with pagers, it was like, well, let me call so and so and page them. And then it became a little more with now the two-way pages where you could, hit me back. And then, of course, once
That was cool when the payphones had a phone number on it, so you could page somebody so they could call you on the payphone.
they call you on the payphone, you'd be like, "Oh yeah." Um,
Yeah, then some people memorize like payphone numbers, and then you would just go by at certain times. And then, like, when the phone would ring, you'd be like, all right, yeah, I'm expecting that call.
yeah, AI is useful for business, but we are falling in love with people, are falling in love with these AI responses. And see, that's the
Yeah,
tricky
we
part.
were talking about that earlier.
That's the tricky part, Coach Carey. And again, when it when it comes to how you're going to actually respond to people, right? It's still the best.
Yes, I agree, Leslie. I do
uh,
agree with that.
You still have to have a face to face when it comes to whether it's on a Zoom call, but you still have to be able to talk to people. I don't care who you are. I don't care how much you try to avoid conversation, how you try to avoid contact. I remember, oh yeah, I remember the dime days. Time it's like, wow, yeah, exactly. I think Leslie used to be a phone operator, so she knows about the whole, you know, phone. But I'm pretty sure her stories are pretty wild too. When she was growing up, but I grew up without cell phones, computers, pagers. Last century, last century. How long have you been alive, Kenneth? Maybe that's the secret. He's got the secret. He's figured it out. But
Yeah.
again, when it comes to how we're wired now and how we're getting rewired because of cell phones and being able to have the ability to have instant access to people, uh,
Mhm.
I think there's still a lot left that we still have to kind of learn when it comes to saying no to people and having a phone and having the ability to, again, text back and forth. And um, I I don't know. It's like when I call somebody, it's like they try to avoid you so much. Um, like they will let your phone, that they're there, but they'll let your phone go to voicemail.
Mhm.
Um, because they want to avoid the talk. Like I think if you have family members or people in your life who are constantly texting you, do you want? I'm going to give a solution. Here's a solution. I like giving solutions. The moment they start texting you 20 different times at 20 different messages, simply text back, call me and I'll talk to you.
That's what I did today to my mom. Because my mom had me in like 3 different texting threads, and she was texting Gabe, not just in a thread where me and him are together, but then also to him individually. And I'm like, oh my gosh. Because yeah, I didn't respond fast enough during the day. And it was a lot of it was my fault because I got busy. I was writing on the book. And so I was doing that for most of the day, and I didn't even look at my phone. And then it was later in the
Yeah, but you
day.
shouldn't.
But
Here's the thing, sweetheart. This is what I'm saying.
that's why I told her, I said, call me. Like, if it's that urgent, call me, because I don't look at my text messages. I don't even keep my phone on anymore.
That's where I say you shouldn't have to say it's my fault. I was guilty.
Hmm.
Right? You're already creating a situation where you're.
But I told her that I was going to like let her know something. And so it was my fault that I waited hours before I told her, because she was planning on picking up Naomi.
Yeah,
So.
I'm lagging like a whole computer. Oh, it's okay. Don't worry about it. No worries here. No, we look. We are a no commitment.
No, that's exactly how I feel, Josiah. Like, if there's a lot of stuff going on, yeah, I'm not always gonna comment or say things back.
Yeah, and now we have WhatsApp, another way to interrupt my life.
Yeah, and group me, and there's another one.
Oh, there's quite a bit of
Yeah,
circle,
band.
Discord.
I'm also in band app, Discord. I'm in a lot of those because for school and then for other side jobs I do, and
So, oh Lord,
to get
she said,
a boothang. Oh yeah.
almost-
When we start doing podcasts, I think that would be kind of cool to ask people, especially if we interview singles.
yes. So that's the next plan for us. Once we finish this next series, we're gonna hit the pause button for a little bit because we're going to be working on the podcast side of things. So we're not stopping Unwrap Love.
Well, we still have a few more series of it anyways before we do that.
Well, that's what I mean.
Yeah.
I mean, once we wrap up, we got 6 more weeks. So we're doing an 8-week series. We got 6 more weeks we're going to do. Then we're going to hit the pause button for a while because we are going to.
I just saw that comment. They're the ones that harasses their mom.
Wait,
It's not my daughter harassing me. It's my mom
who said
sending
that?
me messages.
Oh, King.
I don't do it to my daughter.
That's like the only one who harasses my mom. Okay.
Yeah, my daughters don't do it to me. I don't do it to my daughters. It's my mom.
Right.
That, I mean, it's like, and then she loves sending those cute little pictures and emojis, and I get like I don't even know how many of them every day.
Right.
But it's not just like direct to me; it's in group messages too. So I
Yeah.
see them like multiple times.
Yeah, and
Which I love it because I love my mom completely. It's just it's overwhelming sometimes, and I don't always respond because I've got a lot going on.
that's why I'm somebody who's simple. If you need to get a hold of me, call me.
Mm-hmm.
Like, look, sometimes, like I said, I put my phone down. I'm in my groove. Once I get my music on and I'm in my groove, I just
Ooh,
just
I like that idea right there. So a live romance comedy show with Josette with the potential of earning a date.
okay, yeah. So here's what we got to do before we do that. We're gonna set up. We gotta have a what was it used to call a dowry.
A dowry.
They gotta have a dowry to say.
She has to have one because usually it's the woman that provides the dowry.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. We gotta develop. We gotta collect the dowry for her first. Like
Uh-huh.
what they're gonna get when they decide to go down that path.
So we're going to sell her?
Well, maybe not sell her, but say, look, if you want to earn a date, you got to come on, and we'll provide you with a live show. We'll do a write up on you. That's a digital dowry. How's that? How's that sound?
Maybe airtime.
Airtime, yeah. And there you go. And she's like, I joke. I want to retire. You do want to retire. Retire from what? From dating or
Hold on, you have to read her previous message to find out what she's talking about.
oh, okay, hold on.
So she said, "Let's
My mom is so busy, pickleball, mahjong,
no time."
and for me, oh, maybe that's another show. We'll find Kinga a new mom. Well,
She doesn't want a new
your
mom.
mom, a potential. Uh,
Okay, so she wants to retire like her mom because her mom's always
she wants
doing these things like
okay.
pickleball and all of that. So she doesn't have time for her. So she's like, I want to retire so I can do those things too.
Okay.
Yeah.
Now I get it. Makes more sense. I thought you retiring from your mom.
And just that y'all make me feel so thankful that no family.
Yeah, but we can.
No, did you see her comment?
Yes, I did. Y'all make me feel so thankful to have no family.
I love family, but
well,
yeah, they can be exhausting sometimes. Some of them.
Sometimes you get the family you choose, right?
Yeah. See, Kinga says she loves her mom.
Oh, I love.
She just wants to retire to spend time with her.
I just thought I read it wrong. I thought you were looking for. I thought we had two show concepts like in the middle of a live stream here. I was like, wow, I can find Kinga a new mom, and then I can find a boyfriend, boo thing, like she said.
Oh, I do.
love
I
your mom
definitely
and dad.
do. Like my dad. I love my dad because my dad doesn't do that to me, but
Oh, no.
I talk to my dad a lot, and he's usually on the show. Like he usually pops up on here. He must be asleep already.
Yeah, it's probably about bedtime. They're like, eh.
And I love my mom too. She
I love
just can be a lot.
And then I text my kids. If I call, they pick up no matter what. See?
Aw, that's very sweet. Usually my daughter does too.
Like, again, I think that's because the mindset and how it's, again, this is how it's been shifted.
And if my mom calls, I do answer.
She does answer.
But
So
it's the texting that like I'm not a texter.
And I think that's, again, I'm going back to circling back around of why I'm saying, you know, we've become so, what's the word? When you get used to something over and over and over again, it doesn't even register anymore.
Mm-hmm.
There's a word for it. Now it's slipping my mind. Desensitized to texting.
Mm-hmm.
That, somebody texts you, you just let it go. They'll text you 4 or 5 times in a row. But the moment that person calls you, there's a shift.
Mm-hmm.
And you think, why are they calling me now? This guy. Your senses almost come heightened to say, let me answer this phone call because this is beyond the usual behavior. They'll text me 20 times if they have to. But when you get a phone call, it's like, okay, now another level has kind of alerted. Long distance, totally free. Yes, it is totally free. And then I'm trying to pull up all these comments. Yeah, I know
a
that.
lot popping through.
Yes,
We hit a nerve.
I did hear that. I'm a huge texter. Phone talk feels weird. Hey, that's okay. I'm not saying it's for everybody, but but what I am saying is that you can still choose choose to live under a rock, but eventually you have to come back out and you have to present yourself to the world, whether that's a face-to-face conversation or interaction.
I so much prefer phone calls.
I do too. I get out what I need to get out and then I'm done. Like there's no
Yeah, and that's probably what the thing is too. Is just like sometimes people will text and it's like an all day event if you keep going back and forth. And so it's like, okay, you must either be bored or like you want to talk on the phone. Like to me, it's just I like having
I don't know. I've never had that. Never had that to think about. I don't know. Having a fake boyfriend. Well,
yeah, it might if they decide to look you up.
Yeah. So I don't know. Yeah, I guess we'll figure that out. So I want to retire so I can spend more time with my family the same way. Yeah.
Yeah.
My anxiety, of course it does. Because
when the phone rings,
because again, we've been conditioned so much to look at our phones and saying it's a text message. That's how we, communicate. Voices, I love it.
Yes, I agree, Kenneth.
I do. That's why I wanted to do when we do.
I know my hand hurts if I use my phone.
When we do the live call-in show, to me, that's the fun part. Just get in and
Mhm.
talk to these
I
people.
know, and that was, like, hard when we first did it to get people to actually call in. They're used to typing messages here, but we finally had some call-ins. Coach Carey was our
Yeah.
first.
So yes, we were going full bachelorette. We were trying to auction, not auction, but I was trying to present. Um, COVID lockdown was paradise to me.
Mhm. For a lot of
For a
kids,
lot
it
of a
was.
lot of people, it was.
And then when they had the ability to turn their cameras off, oh my gosh, because when I first went back to teaching, it was they made a choice and a decision whether or not they were going to stay at home and learn online or if they were going to come into the school. And so many of the kids decided to stay at home, but the requirement was they had to turn on their cameras so we could make sure they were present in the class and it wasn't somebody else logging in. But they wouldn't. They would not turn on their cameras. I would have sometimes 15, 20 kids in a class and no cameras on. Maybe if I was lucky, there'd be one kid with their camera on. And then one time I went to one of my friends' houses who had a kid that was in high school that was also had to do the same thing and have a camera on. And I'm like, is he doing his studies in there? And she's like, no, he's probably sleeping. And she goes, "He wakes up and turns on the camera, and then he goes back to bed." And I'm like, "What?" She goes, "Yeah, I know. I try to get him up, but I can't." And so I went in there. She showed me him. We went into the room. She tried to wake him up, and he was sleeping on the bed, but he had the computer popped open with the camera turned off so that the teacher couldn't see that he was laying in bed. So, yeah, it was a lot of kids that they might have been awake. I don't know, but this kid was sleeping. But they really loved staying at home, not
That's
coming
too
to
bad. The
school.
Wednesday with call-ins. Yeah. So I don't know. It makes you feel lonely as a teacher, doesn't it? It does.
Yeah, when they were doing that, it was insane when they had all the cameras off and not turning them on, but once they all came back and then that was crazy too, once, after COVID, when they all started coming back, there was, like, hardly any eye contact. Like, they just got so used to not talking to anybody and staying at home and, just learning different that when they came into the classroom, it was quiet, nobody looked at me, like, it took a good few years of really working with them, putting them into groups, getting them to be more social for things to change, but for a while, it was very odd, like, you could see a whole shift in behavior for a while.
Well, and again, I think it's okay if you're that kind of person. You're neurodivergent, and it's hard.
Mhm.
But again, you still have to learn how to navigate that, and you still have to have communication with people. Um, and that I'm sorry, that's just how human connection works. Um, and the hard part about all of this is when it comes to
Mm.
doing something like dating, people will step out of the realms
Oh,
of
s
what they feel is normal. Um,
oh, so you did the same thing, Kinga? Are you a teacher also?
Talking.
Because yeah, that's what I did, like, I would talk into the screen and hardly get any feedback. I mean, sometimes they would take the test and stuff, but, they wouldn't hardly speak up or definitely wouldn't turn on their cameras.
Yeah,
So, yeah. And there was some kids that came to school, but, um, they didn't really talk much either. They just everybody kept their distance and stayed quiet.
yeah. And I don't know. I don't know where the disconnection. I don't know at what point that disconnection started to happen, started to sever. Um, because growing up, although I might have been, well, I don't know, maybe it's because I was extroverted, but there were people even that I saw in my class that were shy and would still interact. They would still have to because um, that was part of how, again, we were all constructed and our curriculum was constructed that people had to come together. You have to read in groups. You had to do all these other things where nowadays, you know, it is the isolation. Um,
Mhm.
and she says, I taught executive
Executives.
in the
Oh, so it was
as
adults.
adults. That's even worse.
Yeah, that is.
You could give it off with kids and saying, well, they're kids, but come on, these are grown men. grown women, individuals who have positions of leadership, and you're like, they're not listening. So yes, yes, that is true. Dissonance becomes a real thing. Mm-hmm. True that. That's hard. It's hard to navigate, but even this world now, and maybe that's why that they're worried about the population dropping because people, you know, as kids, as this generation starts getting out into the world and starts getting into the world of dating and how they communicate with each other, um,
Oh my gosh,
that's
the
going.
words that they use, and then I don't remember who helped me find this one video, but it's like how to talk to Gen Z, and it is so funny, like some of the words that they use, and it's just they're always creating new words to use in this whole 6-7 business. Like they're just like it's a different generation. Cause I remember when I first started teaching 15 years ago, they had their words too, but it was like maybe one or two that I would hear. Now it's like a whole lot. Like they've got chuz and huz and chud and I don't know. They've got like all these. I mean, CAP's been around for a while, but they still use some of the older ones, but they come up with new ones and it's frequent and they use them all. And I'm like, okay, explain what that means. And so I learn a lot of the Gen Z terms that they use today.
Right. So people want to know what why I started wanting to do podcasts in the first place. Part of it was because I do think there's a lot of introverted individuals out there who do have a voice, that do have a lot of value that they can
Oh,
add and share.
I love the quiet ones. Like it
Yeah,
quiet kids, like, when I at first, when I first started teaching, like, I just thought, "Oh my gosh, like, what's going on? Like, I don't know what they're thinking. They don't speak up in class." And, kids that just weren't as talkative, but get them to write something, and oh my gosh, they're like, some of them will blow you away with how they write. And this is before AI. So I know that, how intelligent
yeah.
a lot of people are
So
that don't speak as much outwardly.
yeah, they're these little seeds, man. They're these little seeds, and the more that you plant them and nourish them and give them the opportunities, you will see a lot of people blossom, even if they're introverted. I've seen some of the most introverted people I know who stepped into this space of doing like live video. I've had people that say, I can't do video. I'm introverted. There's no way I can jump on a camera and start talking. And yet I will see them 75 episodes into what they're doing and say, really? Really? Like you can do this. It's just it's again, it's how you nourish people into getting into
Yeah, there was times in my life I was extremely introverted, but I think the most talkative I became was when I was in my mid 20s and gained a lot of confidence because I lost weight and then I went back to school. And so I just decided one day, like, I wanted to be more extroverted and I forced myself to be, even though it was an uncomfortable feeling. I figured out ways to talk to people, so, I would carry around one was I carry around gum, and then I would compliment people. So, if I saw somebody that was pretty and, in high school, I would be intimidated by people like that. I would sit next to them and be like, "I love your hair," or I'd sit next to somebody in class and I'd be like, "Would you like some gum?" And then strike up conversations, and I ended up becoming way more social than I ever had been in my life, just by doing these little things, and discovered that I made some really good friends when I was in college.
yeah. So that's part of what I'm doing with my podcasting now, is that I'm trying to build tools to help people get out in the world and communicate, because I do see a disconnect, and I see people all the time on across different social media platforms asking, should I do this? Should I start a podcast? Should I start talking? Should I start bringing out what I do already and I write down? And I'm like, absolutely yes. Answer is yes. In my opinion, yes. Do it. Even when you feel like there's a flooded market, or what you've said is based off of somebody else's ideas or somebody else's wording, what do you think they got it from? not every original thought that comes out from somebody is based on its own originality. They heard it somewhere else. They cognitively had to bring together those thoughts. And I think that somebody, again, there can be 10 people sharing the same message across 10 different places, 10 different platforms, 10 different methods, but they're all going to resonate differently with people. Message could be perfectly the same. We're talking about it now, tomorrow, with the Bible and Jesus. The book doesn't change.
Sorry, I was interrupting your Jesus talk.
Okay, go ahead, please.
But yeah, I was noticing the comment. I think I'm not that social because I'm tired of being called weird. Yeah, it's hard, especially growing up, because the way we see ourselves is a lot of times what people tell us. It's called our looking glass self. So if someone's constantly telling you how beautiful and amazing and smart and, funny you are, then you're going to buy into that and believe that. And you're going to have that confidence boost to be that person. But of course, if somebody is putting you down or saying these negative things about you, instead of seeing the value and the beauty that you have inside, then you're going to believe some of those negative thoughts. And one thing I read in a book not too long ago was, don't ever let what somebody tells you, that one person tells you, define who you truly are. Like, that can happen a lot of times. And I do think, yeah, that can cause us to shut down a lot of the time in life. But yes, tomorrow's Easter. Jesus is being risen. What else were you going to
I'm
say?
just saying that the context. I think
Hmm.
Leslie said it very well. The context is decisive.
Hmm.
So the Bible doesn't, the words, if you believe it, the words in the Bible don't change. It's how it's interpreted in the message and how it comes across. Right. So I think when you talk about people saying, why would anybody want to listen to me? What can I share into this world that would really matter? There's so many people that say it better. You know, uh, Tony Robbins says it better. Mel Robbins says it better. Gary Vaynerchuk says it better than I do. All these people who have these huge stages and huge audiences, they've done it longer. They're way better than me. And what do you think they learn their messages?
Hmm.
They learned it from the people before them. They learned it from Earl Nightingale. They learned it from
We
uh,
learn a
uh,
lot of the
the
things from other people. That's
exactly.
very
And
true.
so to me, the point.
I regurgitate so many things that I've heard throughout my teaching career that just makes sense and fits into the things that I talk about. Like, one time I heard from a person that was speaking on stage, and he was a motivational speaker, and he was like, "Show me your friends and I'll show you your future." And that's just such a powerful statement that I've reused it. I don't know how many times, like in my classroom, when we're talking about how kids get socialized and who they hang around and what kind of person they become. And a lot of it is because of who they hang around. Their peer groups have so much impact on who they become as a person. So yeah, absolutely.
Right. And I just want to tell people is that, you can take a simple piece of words, you can take a theory, you can take all these things that people have already talked about and run it through your own scope and present it in a way that, again, it's going to resonate with the right person. It's not meant to align with every single individual listening to the power of what you're saying.
Yeah, I like Leslie's comment up there. It says, when we see greatness in another person, we have to recognize it. And I think, especially growing up in childhood, a lot of times peers won't always do that because it's about competition, especially being in America. Like, who's better, who's the best, who's the smartest. And so
I am
when
the
somebody,
best.
when somebody, when somebody is, has that amazing quality, then a lot of times it hopefully is at least a teacher recognizing it and pointing that out and helping that to grow. But sometimes even the teacher fails to do their job in recognizing the talents in all of these children. And by the time they get to high school, like, a lot of them doubt themselves. They doubt their abilities. They don't think they're creative. They don't, there's a lot of things going on through their mind. And I feel like that's why I'm so passionate about teaching high school, is because I saw that need. I was a substitute for 2 years before I became a teacher, because I wanted to see, like, where my place was. And I subbed everything from 4-year-old all the way through high school. And I realized that I had a bigger impact on high school kids because they were the ones that needed something the most. The little kids, it was like they were still learning and flourishing, and they just seemed like they had so much life in them. And then you get to high school and it was like there were so many faces of just giving up, feeling like life is pointless. And I'm like, no, there's no way. Like, let me figure out what's going on with you. And I've found it to be my passion for the last 15 years because they need something before they exit out of high school, because some of them don't go to college or they don't have parents at home that help tell them, that they're gifted in something. It's more of negativity and pointing out all the flaws and everything that's wrong with them. And yeah, it's so important to point out that the good things in that person so that they can believe it and believe in themselves.
Right. And I like what Leslie was saying here. We create our hybrid views built on what we've learned from others.
Mhm.
So if your teachers suck, what do you think? If
Oh god, and I hear stuff all the time, and I feel like I'm constantly trying to correct other people's mistakes for things that they've been told. And and that's one of the questions I generally ask them is like, have you ever been in a classroom where you felt like the teacher made you feel inferior? The teacher made you feel like you were less than. They did something. I mean, of course, like kids will do it to each other, but when you have a mentor, somebody in the room that's supposed to protect you and make you feel like you have value and that you're important, and they don't, that really sticks with you. And it becomes part of the thoughts that you tell yourself. Like, I'm not good enough. I'm less than. Everybody else is smarter than me. And those thoughts really eat at you, especially going through high school and everything else that these kids have to go through. So
yeah, and it
yeah.
is. We are here, and what brings us together is what we decide to be. Yes, our chosen family. Um, absolutely. And then Leslie was saying, I have subbed in a kindergarten music class with no instructions. I bought in records and taught them the difference between genres.
That is awesome. I subbed for 4-year-olds one time, no lesson plan either. I didn't know what to do with these kids. I was like, "What do I do?" So I had them counting their teeth. I don't know, it just came to my head, and I was like, "We're gonna count teeth today." Like, "Let's count your teeth," and that took up a little bit of time. But yeah, I don't know why, when especially in elementary, like, why would you not leave some kind of assignment for the kids to do?
Right. Speaking of ideas, my ideas have gotten over 1,200 impressions in today's LinkedIn cycle. 2 of the 4 days have been over 1,000 impressions. Impressive. My teacher would put me in the front of the class and point out my flaw. Jeez.
Oh my god, that breaks my heart. I'm trying
Like,
not to cry.
yeah. That would be like, why wouldn't you just get up and ask me, whatever grade you were in, why wouldn't you get up that's almost like get in front and say, stand right here, let me punch you in the stomach real quick.
Mm.
Like, I think I would rather have that because it's not going to leave the lasting scars of doing something like this. I don't know how old you are, but if you are remembering that at this age,
Oh yeah, we
uh,
do. The
th-
things that are I have memories too. And I think that's another reason that it's hard for me to even like communicate with other teachers that even in the slightest put down another kid. I don't trust them. I don't talk to them because our job as an educator, it should be that we are passionate about helping these kids learn and that we truly believe in them. And when that goes away and you start to treat kids like crap, like you should not have that profession. But I had a teacher who used to put they never pointed out my flaws, like, "Oh my god, that's terrible," but, whenever I was bored in their class and I couldn't figure out how to learn geometry, it was a hard subject, um, I would talk to my friends and giggle and laugh, and she would just put me in the front of the classroom to be, I guess, an example of don't talk in class, you're gonna sit up in the front. And it didn't stop me from turning around and laughing and being put in the hallway. But yeah, I don't think that some teachers understand how to reach their
yeah,
kids.
I think Leslie was saying that's, teachers aren't aware.
Mm-mm.
And the one that she said he was
Third
in third
grade.
grade, and then asked her how old she is now, or they. I don't know if she's a she or he.
50.
50. But you remember
That's a
that.
sharp
That's why I said.
memory.
That's why I said I would rather get punched in the stomach because the pain is instantaneous, and the moment that it's gone, it's gone.
Yeah.
You're not going to remember it. You're not going to remember what the pain felt like. A scar like that sits with you from third grade into the age of 50. I'm sorry, that's pretty fucked up.
It is. That is.
That's pretty fucked up to be carrying that for so long. So, that's why I say when you're able to to give people the opportunity to say you are great, you are special, you have these certain qualities about you, you know, let me just guide you into figuring it out. That's why I love teaching and helping people, and why my podcast series is about teaching people how to do podcasts. Because I want people to be able to craft a
And
voice.
everybody has value.
Yes,
That's
they
the
do.
thing. And that's one of the first things I fell in love with Gabe, is because he shared one of his podcasts with me, and he told me that like his true like passion was showing like other people's like the human perspective and how everybody had something to give. And I was like, oh my god, that's how I think too. So it was like, I don't normally come across people like that. Like I've been in relationships before where they saw somebody that was disabled and started making a joke or laughed about it, and it like was disturbing. And I'm like, no, I don't want to be with people or around people like that. I even had at school, I had, oh my gosh, he was one of my students. He had autism, but he was also like highly gifted. And so it, he challenged me all the time when I'd be having a lesson. He was like, he would listen to everything, and then he'd be like, well, what about this? And what about that? And he would question things. And I'd be like, that sounds amazing. Could you, tell me more? And he's like, I need to do research. And I was like, okay. So he would do research and print things off and was constantly just input. He wanted to know so many things. And then he would come share them with me. And then whenever we would have class discussions, like he would be on it talking. And, I just thought he was an incredible student. Of course, everybody has flaws. I mean, he would leave his food around and, not pick up after himself all the time, or he would stand like really close to my face sometimes and then just all of a sudden start burping. And I'd be like, dude, like back up just a little bit, we'll be good. Like just don't burp in front of my face. But he didn't understand a lot of social cues, and I kind of helped him with that. But I always just praised him on his intelligence and wanting to know more, and how would have conversations. And one time I was in the hallway and we were talking about something, and then I don't remember, I think I was doing a laughing activity or something, and he was across from me, and I just started laughing. And I'm like, laughter is so amazing. It makes you feel better. Like you'll just have a good day if you find something funny and just laugh about it, or just laugh spontaneously. And so I was laughing, and a teacher passed by me, and I didn't think anything of it at the time. But then later, I think it might have been maybe that next day or something, I see them and they're like, what was that student? I'm not going to say any names. Like, why was that student? Like, what did they say to you that made you laugh? And I said, I don't know. We were just laughing and having fun. And she was like, "Ugh, I cannot stand him." And I was like, "Excuse me?" And she was like, "Oh God, like he is so annoying." And she just starts talking bad about him. And I said, "Do you not realize like he's in special education and you're saying this?" And she was like, "Oh, he's faking it." And I was just, and there was another teacher standing by them, and they didn't say anything to defend the kid. And I was just like appalled because this is someone that other teachers respect. And so I was just like, well, I think he's funny. And then I just walked off, and I don't have conversations with this person. I don't would never eat lunch with them. And it broke my heart that they said that and felt that way. But there are teachers like that that just don't, for whatever reason, don't like kids, and they should not be in the education system.
Yeah. I'm sorry. All we can do is apologize, sympathize with you, LinkedIn user. but know that we're here for each other. I think Kingo was kind of messaging that there as well. It's like you have a different community now, and hopefully part of the healing is kind of to never forget that, but never allow those moments to control you anymore, or how they approach you. So I think it's time we start wrapping up, darling, because we still got some Easter stuff we got to do for tomorrow. But I want to thank everyone.
We can just give him the candy.
We could just throw it out there, like, here you go.
Hide the candy.
Candy,
Don't put it in
candy.
the egg. Just hide him around the house.
Yeah, like, here you go.
Just don't let the dog out.
Don't let the dog out. Yeah, don't let. Yeah, those are little death bombs for him. Do not leave that around the chocolates. Oh, Lisa. Gosh, I hate that we're ending this. LinkedIn user is Jameson Glover. Okay. Thank you. Thank you for joining us. We're so appreciative.
Oh, good.
We're glad that we were able to help. And yeah, no, Lisa's hopping in close to the end of wrapping everything up. But we want to get
thank you to everybody that joined. We had
Kenneth.
a little slow start. Our Yolanda, a beautiful woman, she's always here like all the time, right away. We love her so much. She even came to our wedding. So that was great. And so we had kind of a slow start, didn't have a lot of people in, and then all of a sudden they started waking up from naps and we got like a bunch of people log in.
So we figured our crowd's a little older. They love their naps, and then getting to it. So yes, 11:11 is the perfect time to be ending everything. Thank you, Kenneth, because I'm pretty sure Kenneth invited a lot of these people here. He's always been a lifesaver for us. He's a one in a million. But from the bottom of our hearts, thank you all of everyone for joining us, for being a part of what we get to do here. This is the best part of what we get to do. And Yolanda's like, I'm still here. We know you're still here, girl. You are right to die.
Yes.
We love you. But yeah, just having all these people show up and be a part of, these discussions is important. So thank you again. We will be back next Friday night.
Yes. We'll schedule it this time.
We'll schedule it with the time, and we'll be back for our regular Saturday night Love Talk.
Banana bread. Ooh, that sounds good.
We can go over there and go with you. We got banana bread going. That sounds delicious. Okay. Thank you again, guys. All of you are amazing. We do appreciate it. And please, if you get a chance, if you're interested in the world of podcasting, I have a new podcast I launched. It's available on all the podcasting platforms: Apple Podcasts, Spotify, iHeart, Amazon, you name it. It's everywhere. My first guest was with Junaid Ahmed. He's amazing, an amazing podcaster. So if you want to go listen to that episode, we're more than welcome to. And anything else you want to share, my love, before we get out of here?
Hold on, I was looking at some more comments.
Oh, okay. They're coming in fast and furious.
Yeah. Gregory. So he's on the spectrum and was I had a correction action plan from kindergarten to grade.
Oh no.
Yeah.
Well, that's okay. You're here with us, man.
Oh my gosh. And that was one of the groups.
What?
One of the groups I subbed for a lot more often than the others was a special ed department. And I got to know the kids and bonded with them so well. And I think that's why I have a huge heart for anybody that had disabilities back before I knew I was going to have a mental illness. I just always had that love for people that have challenges and that were born with challenges and, will love and support any child. And just, I've loved teaching for so long. But yeah, it breaks my heart when kids get bullied. I mean, and even it can happen in high school. It's harder sometimes to detect. You really have to be aware and keep your eyes on and ears open all the time in the classroom to be able to find it.
Yeah. So we're having a debate now on banana bread. Thank you, Kenneth, for bringing this to the choice.
We'll have to have a vote on that.
Vote on that.
Do you like banana bread?
Leanna says it's okay with no nuts. I think James.
I like it both ways.
Jameson said you. Kingo's with me. We're like, yes, chocolate chip.
Ooh, that sounds good too.
It's savoring the flavor. See, Now we're all getting hungry. I gotta make something to eat. Okay. Again, we're gonna get out of here. Again, if you're interested, I think Jameson said he's interested. Again, you can head over. The podcast is easy to find. Go type it into search bar. Is podcast about podcasting. Pretty simple.
And also find us on YouTube at Unwrap Love. And subscribe. We are trying to get to maybe 100 people by the end of the year.
By the end of the year, that
would be nice.
School. I dropped out of the 7th grade. Oh
my gosh.
Well, that's okay. You're still right star to us. All right. Thank you again, everybody. You rock. We will talk to you soon. I don't have my outro because my outro always disappears. So you guys are going to get to exit with our red flag, green flag song. Yeah. All right. Cheesecake is more your thing. Yes, it is, Kenneth. All right. Thank you again. Love you. Love you all.
Love you, babe.
Can't end the show without having our official sign off. Okay. We're out of here. Thank you again, everybody. We'll see you next Friday.
Thanks for joining Love Talk.
Love Talk. We love you all. Bye for now.
Bye.
Red flag, green flag, what will you snack?